Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's vlog is a book swap video. So I am going to be swapping books with Jan Agaton, and we are doing on her channel what she calls do your worst. And so essentially the whole point of this video is that we're going to be reading books that each other did not like and see if we can find new favorites. So I feel like Jan and I have pretty similar taste for the most part, but also very different taste as well. So I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about these books that she did not like. So in today's video, I'm going to be reading 4 books that Jan gave 2 stars or less, just to kind of see if our tastes align and if I'm going to like these books more than she did. So I do have some pretty anticipated books that I am excited to read on this list. So we're just going to go over the TBR, and then I'm going to head out to go to work and start one of these books today. So the first book that is on the TBR for this week is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And Jan did not like this book. I think she gave this book 2 or 2.5 stars. So I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about it. I've heard really amazing things about it. So the fact that she didn't like it, I feel like maybe I also might not like it. I don't know. We will see. I literally don't know what this book is about, but like I mentioned, I've heard pretty amazing things about it. So we'll see how I like it, if I lean with what everyone else is saying or if my opinion aligns with Jan. Then the next book on the TBR is Wayward by Amelia Hart, and I fear that I might not like this one. So this was a Book of the Year 2023 finalist from Book of the Month. And so I got this book back when I was subscribed to them, and it was literally the only book out of the finalists that I had not read. I'd heard pretty good things about this book, but I want to say that this book is more of like a cozy fantasy style book, and I typically do not like cozy fantasy. So I'm interested to see what I'm going to think about this one. I feel like this one might be one that Jan and I kind of align on, but we will see. I might read this and absolutely love it. Then we've got one that I feel like a lot of people are agreeing with Jan on with this, and I find that I might potentially be the same. And we've got Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I have not read this book yet. I have heard so much about people not liking this book that I have been kind of putting it off, but I feel like this video is the perfect time for me to pick it up. I like Emily Henry's books, but I feel like I tend to sway in the opposite direction of the masses. I feel like books that people absolutely love by Emily Henry I find are just okay to me, and the ones that other people seem to either just find okay or not like as much are the ones that I tend to love. So I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about this book and if I'm going to like it. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this book, but I feel like this one's pretty thick for Emily Henry, but I am intrigued enough to want to read this because I did of course purchase it. Like I pre-ordered it, and so yeah, I am excited to get into it, but hopefully I'm going to like it, but we will see. And the 4th and final book that I'm going to be reading in this video, that is a new one that Jan recently just read, like probably a month ago, and the first book that I'm going to be starting in this video, and that is Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. And this book has been making its rounds around the internet recently. This is a Beauty and the Beast Why Choose retelling. This book sounds right up my alley. I feel like I am absolutely going to love this. This book sounds like pretty much anything that I love in a book. So I am hoping that I'm going to like this. This one is very chunky, and I will be starting with this one first, but I feel like I am absolutely going to eat this book up. I will say people have been saying that the first book in the series is probably not the best, but as you continue going on through the series that the books do get better. So I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about this book and this series, and fingers crossed I'm going to like it. So like I mentioned, this is the book that I will be starting with first, but I do have to get ready to leave to head out to work. I am going to pack my lunch and make my coffee and do all of the things this morning really quickly, but I did go ahead and grab the audiobook of Bonded by Thorns from Audible because that was literally the only place that I could find it. So I am going to listen to the audiobook today while I'm at work. I did also grab the ebook from Kindle Unlimited because it is on Kindle Unlimited as well. So with that, I'm gonna head out to go to work, and I will hopefully talk to you guys when I get home with an update on where I ended up in Bonded by Thorns. Hello. Okay, so I'm now home from work and I do have an unboxing, but I did also want to give my reading update. So I did start Bonded by Thorns by Helen Elizabeth, and so far I'm having such a good time with this book. This book is so fun so far. I will say the first guy that we got introduced to, Lucas, who is essentially Rosalina's ex, he is icky and gross and disgusting, and I don't like him, and I'm glad that, like, obviously he's getting out of the picture because no. Also too, so I am chapter 17 at page 98 in the physical version of the book. I will say the physical version of the book has way more pages than the ebook, so the ebook does not exactly line up with the physical version of the book, but so far I'm having a really good time. I think it's so fun so far. I'm excited to continue reading and see where it goes. So I am going to be continuing this here soon. I do have a video that I'm getting ready to film right now, and I did want to do an unboxing, so we're gonna do that real quick. So this is a package from Scribble Prints Co. If you did not know, I am a member of their monthly junk journal subscription, and so I get a package every month from them, but I did also place an order here pretty recently, so I think this potentially could be just the order and not necessarily my monthly kit, but we're going to see. So, okay, yeah, so this is just my order and not the monthly kit from the subscription. So in this first little one, I needed some more things from the project. It was called Project Space was the name of the kit that I used, but I needed a few extra things because I needed like some more letters and things. So I got some more of these letters, and then I ended up getting the mini deco because this was the theme that I did for May, and so I wanted some like little mini stickers to like put throughout the journal. It also ended up coming with these stickers, and so we will open these. These are just little freebies because my order was a little bit larger. So we've got member of the Junk Club. We've got this Scribble Prints Co. sticker. This one that says Book Obsessed. We've got this Labubu sticker. And then we've got this little one that says Cowboy Romance. So those are all really cute, and I'm excited to find a place for these. Next up for the freebies, so these are like holographic, and so these are like little holographic stickers. They say dinner date, movie date, lunch date, day date, coffee date, date night, breakfast date, happy anniversary, just in like a bunch of different little fonts. Then we've got like some little holographic snacks and treats. These are super cute. Next are these little quotes. They say, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day, and a dream is a wish your heart makes. And so these are like little quote stickers. Next we've got these days of the week stickers. And we've got some like little circle holographic stickers. We've got these weekend banner stickers. I think these are like some overlay, some like sparkly overlays. We've got some overlay boxes as well. Then we've got these Happy Mail and Wiggle It Wednesday little holographic stickers as well, and then this like bow sort of washi tape. And so those were the freebies that I got. So now into the planner kits that I got. Oh, okay, these are the journal kits, the junk journal kits that I got. So this first one is Summerween. Starting with this Polaroid, the guest check, the ransom letters. We've got the medium deco, some large deco, the 2 half sheets, background number 1 and background number 2. And these are for the Summerween kit. I thought this was super cute for a potential kit to use sometime this summer, potentially. I know that there is a Summerween readathon that I usually don't typically participate in, but I thought this was so cute and I just loved the artwork, so I wanted to pick it up. And then the next one that I got is called Summer Lovin'. So basically the same sort of format, just with different designs. So first up is this Polaroid. Then we've got the pink guest check, the ransom letters, the medium deco, the large deco. This is like kind of half page, sort of half page kind of design. And then we've got our 2 full pages. So this is the first full page and this is the second full page with little turtles on it. So cute. And so that is the Summer Lovin' kit. And now that I've started doing a reading journal again, I have been using these as like the bases of my journaling, and it's honestly been so fun. And I feel like it takes the stress out of trying to come up with an idea for a theme for the month. And I just feel like this makes it so easy and seamless, and I really enjoy using these little kits. So I'm super excited to have these, and I do have like my monthly one coming soon. So thought I'd just share my order with you. And yeah, so that's it for now. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading later. Love Island does come on tonight, so I will do some reading up until it's time for me to watch Love Island. So I will give another update probably once I get closer to the halfway mark in Bonded by Thorns. Well, okay, so I'm giving this update in the car because I'm leaving work right now to go to an appointment, but literally I am really having the best time with Bonded by Thorns. Everyone said that this first book was like not great, that it was probably their least favorite in the series. So I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about the other books in the series if I am having so much fun right now and people say that it just keeps getting better. So I don't know, I'm feeling like this was like right book, right time. Like the vibes are exactly what I've been looking for. It's why I choose, which I love. I am loving the fact that it has like the LGBTQ elements in it. I am loving exploring the relationship dynamics between every single character. I am just literally having the best time. Like, is it the best book ever? No, but it's fun, and I feel like that's exactly what I needed. So I'm absolutely loving it. I think I'm just under 70% into the book, so I definitely see myself finishing it today. When I talked to you guys yesterday, I literally did not read anymore. After I got home, I finished filming that video and worked on my reading journal some, and then one of my mom's friends ended up calling me, so I talked to her for a little bit, and then I showered and watched Love Island and went to bed. So I did not do any more reading last night, but I have been listening to the audiobook while I've been at work, and it has been literally so fun. I've been enjoying myself. It has literally been exactly what I needed right now. Do I think this is a 5-star book? No, absolutely not. It's definitely not a 5-star book, but I'm having a really good time. So I am super excited to finish it. I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook some more while I'm in the car. I know a lot of people say they don't like the audiobook, but personally I don't mind it. I think it's fine. I like that it's in duet. I feel like it's doing what I need it to do. So I don't know, I'm excited to keep reading it, and I feel like this video is starting out on a very high note since I'm actually really enjoying the first book, even though Jan didn't like it. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll update again probably later once I get home. I'm gonna go to my appointment, then come back to work, and then go home. So yeah, that's my update for now. I'm gonna head, and I will talk to you guys again probably sometime later once I get home. Hello, so I am now home from work, and I do have an unboxing, like a pretty large unboxing. So today is Tuesday, which of course it's new release Tuesday, and I know this does not really have anything to do with this vlog, but I am gonna unbox it in this vlog anyway. And then we will get into my reading update because I definitely still have plans to finish Bonded by Thorns tonight. So we will get into it after I unbox all of this stuff. So I've got some books. I've got some Bookish merch. I have my journal kit. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So this first package is from Book Babe Designs. And she recently did a restock of some of her most popular t-shirts. So I grabbed some, and they were also like, I think they were like buy one, get one 20% off or something like that. So I got some t-shirts. I've been eyeing a couple of these for a while, and so when I saw that she had these back in stock, I knew that I had to grab them. So the first one is this one that says Love at First Bite, and it says Romance Society, blood drive every weekend, an eternal member. And then the back says, please keep the locals hydrated, which I thought this was literally so stinking cute. I love the design on this. I have seen this around for a while, and so finally got my hands on it. The next one that I got is this like cream colored one, and it says welcome to the Romance Readers Motel, and it says welcome readers, readers lounge, life is better with books, spread love, read books, free library access for customers, and complimentary coffee. I love books 24 hours, and it's this like super cute motel t-shirt, which is so cute, and I'm super excited to have these. Like, I've been wanting to get more Bookish merch, but I feel like I always miss the drops when they happen, because I feel like usually I either hear about them too late or just like forget to set an alarm and like a timer and like whatnot. So definitely on me. But the next one is this Slow Burn book club, meet me at the bookstore. And I have been wanting this one for a while. This one's super, super cute. So excited to have those. Next up, we've got my Scribble Prints Co. sticker club for the month. And I will say, like, this, when I found out that this was the theme for the month, I was not super excited about it. It's not one of my favorite themes ever, but I definitely still feel like I will probably end up using it at some point. Also too, let me scoot a little bit closer so that way it'll stop focusing on the boxes and focus on me instead. So this month's theme is called Arcade Nights. And so of course we've got our little Polaroid. This is like a little Pac-Man game. Then we've got our guest check. Then we've got our ransom letters, our medium deco. This is the large deco. Here are our half sheets. Here are the half sheets. This one is like the arcade, and this side is like the dance battle, which is super, super cute. Then we've got this like purple checkered background and this like arcade sort of theme background. And so I like some of the art in this, but the overall theme, not a favorite of mine, but I probably will, of course, still end up using it at some point. But I am excited to have this. I feel like these are amazing in my journals. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like I've really sort of streamlined my reading journal at this point. So I feel like the same few pages that I continue to do are really working for me. So I want to continue doing them. And I feel like these kits are perfect for what I need them for. So I'm super excited to have this, even if the theme isn't exactly my favorite one. Okay, now moving on to the books. So here's the first one. I know there are some new releases, but I also know that there are some that are not new releases. So this one is from Barnes & Noble. Yeah. And in this box, we've got Beneath Still Waters by Lenny Mack. And I believe this is a romantic suspense. This was a cover by. Yeah, The Truth Can Lie Within the Stillness. This is a romantic suspense cover by that I saw an ad for and was like, I'm in my romantic suspense era. So that's how I ended up with this one. But I am excited to read this one. It does sound good. This is about Emery and Reed. And Reed is a Navy SEAL, and Emery is a marine biology teacher. So I feel like this will be fun to read. It says, as danger grows, so does their unexpected connection, but facing the truth and each other may be the biggest risk of all. So I'm super excited to get into that. This next one is a little iffy on the safety of the books within. So, okay, well, the pull tab broke. Okay, so first up we've got part 2, Losers, and the condition of this book is not great for Barnes & Noble, so yeah, anyways, but this is Losers by Harley LaRoe. This is part 2, and this first one is Losers part 1 by Harley LaRoe. And so this is the, I guess, Losers duet, and I think they make a little heart on the front, which is cute and fun. But this is a dark romance, Wide Shoes, and they've got these like stenciled edges, and yeah, these recently just got republished. I heard them going around on the internet like a few years ago and never ended up picking them up. So I saw another TikTok about them recently. It got put back on my radar. So I did decide to grab those and pick those up. And then this is my one from Amazon. So in the package from Amazon, I ended up getting The Kings of Kearney by Nevessa Allen. I believe this is a repub. This is a motorcycle club dark romance, I believe. Hello. Yeah, sure. Give me like 5 minutes, if that's okay. Okay, sounds good. See you in a minute. Bye. Okay, and then the final book that I ended up getting is The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest. This is Christina Forrest's new release, and I'm super excited to have this book, and I feel like this is one of my like most anticipated of the summer, so I'm super excited to read this. These are the books that I got. I do have a Navy's dog friend coming over here in a second, so I will have to give my reading update a little bit later, so we'll do that. But thought I'd give that update, do my little unboxing with you guys, and I will talk to you again a little bit later once I have some more to talk about with my reading update. I'm back, and literally as soon as I get done talking to you, I'm going to shower and put my pajamas on because it is so hot and gross and muggy outside. But Navy went outside and played for a little bit and got his exercise in, but I did want to give my update on Bonded by Thorns, and I feel like it's really tripping me out that the book is so thick, but the ebook is not that long at all. Like the ebook is like 300 pages, but the physical book is over 500. So I'm like so confused as to where the disconnect is there, but I am currently on page 323, which is in the middle of chapter 47. So I have made a pretty good chunk of the way through this today. I am enjoying this literally so much, and I have a feeling that if I was not filming this video and had to move on to other books after this one, I fear that I would binge all of the books that I could in the series. So I more than likely will be ordering book 2 probably tonight, but I do have plans to sit down and read more of this. I definitely thought I had less of this book left than I do, and maybe because the font is so big in it, I have less than I think that I do in it, because the fact that the audiobook says that it's going to take me an hour and 13 minutes to read 200 pages is quite wild to me, but we'll see if that's actually the case or not. I am planning to watch Love Island here in a little bit, so probably in about an hour and a half I have plans to start watching that or so. But I did want to go ahead and get in my pajamas and get comfy, and I do want to read as much of this as I can tonight before going to bed. So I am hoping that I can finish it tonight. We'll see, but that is the goal and the plan for now. And yeah, I've been so bad on the B-roll so far this vlog, but hopefully as we continue to go, it'll get a little bit better. But that is my update on Bonded by Thorns. I'm gonna go and get my pajamas and things on and kind of wind down for the evening, and I will talk to you at my next update. Good morning. It's now the next morning and I wanted to give my reading update. So I did end up finishing Bonded by Thorns last night. Also too, I feel like this book is so deceiving because this book is not this long. It's literally, this is how much of the book is actually the book. And this is like a prequel novella at the end. So like this book isn't actually like as thick as it seems. But anyways, so I am rating this book 4 stars. I really liked this book. Okay, I know that like a lot of people don't like it. I feel like a lot of people said that it like wasn't written very well. I know people didn't like the audiobook. I know it is a very like in your face retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Like it pretty much is like bar for bar as far as like the plot of like going to the castle, having to stay there, having places in the castle that are off limits, and like having these roses. And so it is like a very obvious Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I loved it. I ate it up. I thought this book was so fun. I just had the best time reading this, and I think this is one of those ones where it's like right book, right time. And I am so happy that I read this. I definitely will be continuing on in the series, and like if I kind of wish I would have read this one last out of these books so that way I could literally binge the rest of the series, but I didn't do that because I want to say I read this one first just because it was my most anticipated of the video, but I am excited about the other books that I'm going to be reading in this video. So now that I'm finished with this one, it is time to move on to the next book. So I did actually already start it. So last night I decided to pick up Wayward by Amelia Hart. I believe Jan gave this one 2 stars potentially, and this book has to deal with pregnancy, which generally Jan hates. Like she does not like books about pregnancy at all. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one. I think this one is like more of a cozy sort of book. I'm not sure, but we have 3 different timelines of 3 different women that we're following. So we're following Kate in 2019, Althea in 1619, and Violet in 1942. And I barely read any of this last night. I literally only made it to page 26 before Love Island came on. And then there was like some commotion outside the house. So like basically after Love Island, I was not reading anymore. So I did make it 26 pages into this. I'm on chapter 5 of part 1. And I will say, already in the first 20 pages, trigger warning for DV because she definitely gets smacked around in the first chapter. So very much trigger warning for that if you are affected. So I don't know. I am unsure about how I'm going to feel about this book, but we're gonna see. I did grab the audiobook from my library so that way I can listen to this while I'm at work today, and hopefully I can get a pretty decent chunk of it read. I feel like this book is going to be one of those books that while it's not very long, it feels long. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm very on the fence about this one. I am just not sure if this is a book up my alley, but we'll see. I could absolutely love it. So anyways, that's where I'm at with Wayward, with my reading progress and things like that. So I am going to go ahead and head out. It is currently 7:06, so it is time for me to leave for work. And with that being said, I will hopefully talk to you guys once I have a reading update, potentially this afternoon when I get home, or maybe on my lunch break or something. I don't know, we'll see. So I will talk to you guys soon. I'm now home from work and I do have a bit of a reading update. So I have read a majority of this today, but don't let that fool you because I'm not loving this book. So I'm currently on chapter 34, which is page 220. So I mean, like, I've read like a pretty decent chunk of this today, and I'm definitely planning on finishing this as well. So I am about 70% into the book, and this just is not my favorite. I just don't think that this is for me. This is very like creepy in the sense that it's giving kind of like Alfred Hitchcock sort of vibes with the amount of crows and things and like ravens and things that are in this book. It's also kind of reminding me a little bit of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and the fact that it's like 3 timelines sort of situation, which granted this did come out before that book. but it is reminding me of that. However, they are like ancestors. So we're following 3 women who are ancestors of each other. And they're basically witches, I guess, like in the like short of things, they are witches, and we're following them in their different time periods as they're facing these different kind of circumstances, and how I guess it led to like where they are now. I don't know. I feel like this book is just very slow. I feel like it's historical fiction, but I'm not super interested in what's going on. Like, we're following Kate, Altha, and Violet, and I want to say like I'm most intrigued about Violet potentially, but like everyone else, I don't know. I really like Altha, like the court case situation, and I'm not really too interested in Kate's storyline. But I don't know. I'm just like not vibing with it. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm definitely feeling like it's a 3-star potentially. Like, it's fine. Like, I feel like I would recommend it to someone, but it's just not my favorite for me. Like, it's kind of cozy, but also not. There's a lot of like pregnancy going on in this book, which not my favorite. Like, I don't mind reading books with pregnancy in them, but I don't know, this one, it's just like a lot. I don't know, it's like fine. I don't know, I feel like the book is just fine. Like, I don't think that like this would be one that I'm recommending to everyone. I definitely don't think this is something that I would pick up again. I just am not loving it, but I mean, that could change, you know, potentially here in the last like 30-ish%. I don't know. I definitely still have like 100 pages, just under 100 pages left. So I could change my mind in those next 100 pages. I kind of doubt it. I don't know, but we'll see. I do have plans to finish this tonight. There is no Love Island tonight, so my plan is to literally just read for the rest of the evening. I am gonna go get ready for bed essentially, and like put my pajamas on and everything like that, wind down for the night, and just sit back and read for the rest of the evening. So I am hoping to finish this evening. So that's my update on Wayward. I do have 2 packages to unbox, so we are going to do that. Let's start with this first one. I remember what one of these is, but I don't remember what the other one is. Okay, so first up we've got The Deal. No, this is The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book in the Off-Campus series, and it's a little damaged, but it's from Amazon, so what do you expect? So grabbed this. I'm trying to grab them before they get the little stickers on them, and so far like they haven't had the sticker, so like I'm trying to grab them all before that gets printed on all of them, and it's not removable. So far I've been lucky, so hopefully it stays that way, but I did want to grab this. I am planning to potentially do a reread of the series. I literally haven't read the series since like 2020. Like, I think I read it for the first time in 2019 and then read it again in 2020 and haven't read it since. So like, I don't remember exactly everything about it, but obviously we know I'm obsessed with the show, so I definitely do want to potentially do a reread. And then for this one, we've got The Poppy Fields by Nikki Erlich. And I feel like this is so fitting because I literally pre-ordered the paperback of this book because of a video of Jan's that I watched where this book like made her cry or something like that. I can't remember which video exactly it was, but she really loved this book, so I pre-ordered the paperback and it arrived today. I think paperback came out yesterday, so I am super excited to have this and potentially read this soon. I think this is a book about grief potentially, or like brokenheartedness, not sure, but I remembered that it sounded good when I bought it, but it's been so long at this point that I don't remember what it's about. But I am super excited to read this. So these are my 2 most recent book mail purchases, so super excited to have both of these. And I'm gonna stop yapping now and get back to reading, and fingers crossed I start to like Wayward a little bit more. I don't know, I was getting very bored with it, so we'll see. I'll update again probably once I finish Wayward. So I just finished Wayward by Amelia Hart, and I am giving this book 3 stars. So this book was something. It was not my favorite. Like, I will say I really enjoyed the Revenge on Men. I feel like that was a really good part of it. I liked that our main characters were able to kind of get revenge on these men that were like gross and awful. And so I really liked that aspect of the story. I will say this just wasn't my favorite. It did feel very slow at times. I was somewhat intrigued by the story, but I felt like each story had its strengths, and there were certain points in the book where I'd be interested in one story and then we would switch to another person's POV, and then I would be not as interested, so then I would feel kind of bored, and then by the time we got back to the POV that I was interested in, I just like got to the point where I no longer cared, and it didn't really feel very seamless. I feel like we got a lot of the answers that we had questions about, and I definitely feel like the story wrapped up in a way that was good for everyone involved, but I don't know, just was not my favorite. I feel like I might consider trying something else from this author potentially, but if you really liked Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil, I would definitely recommend trying this one out. I feel like the 3 timelines is similar, but honestly, that's really the only thing that's similar, because obviously Bare Bones is a sapphic vampire romance and this isn't. So, you know, that's kind of a difference, but it does also have the 3 timelines as well. So if you are interested in books that are told in that sort of layout and format, then I would definitely recommend checking this book out. I personally don't know if this was a book for me. I feel like it was okay. Like I mentioned, I don't really feel like any of my previous comments about the book really changed. Any of my thoughts and feelings really changed as we continue to go on. Like I said, my interest just kept jumping between point of view. So like there would be one point where I'm super interested in Kate's POV, and then it kind of like tapers off and then I'm not really interested anymore. Or there would be a point where I'm like really interested in Alpha's POV, but then it kind of tapers off, so then I'm not that interested anymore. And then again for Violet as well. And I feel like the reason that this book didn't really work for me is because I am someone who tends not to like books that are told in multi-timeline or like dual timeline, just because I feel like it rips you out of the story, and I feel like that was definitely the case here. I felt like because we had these 3 stories going at once in 3 different timelines, while it did end up wrapping up, and I did see throughout the book how it was being weaved together and how Amelia Hart was able to give us these stories that ended up interconnecting in a way that, you know, ended up being okay. But it's the fact that every chapter we're switching point of views, and a lot of the times, depending on what it is, I don't really mind the switching of POVs, but I feel like when it's done in timelines, that's where I kind of have a dislike, just because I don't like feeling ripped out of the story. And with dual timeline, I definitely feel like that can't really be helped. I mean, there are some times where I feel like it does work, and for this one, it just wasn't my favorite. Now, I will say, I don't really know if I have like a favorite point of view or like a favorite story from this book. I think that my favorite definitely was like Alpha at the beginning when we're going through the court case. Like that was really interesting to me, and that was my favorite during that portion of the book. And then I feel like I wasn't super intrigued in Violet's story at all, and I kind of saw what was going to happen to her happen. Like I, you know, had a inclination that that was what was going to happen. And so I wasn't like shocked or surprised. I mean, I was definitely very like unsettled, but I mean, I wasn't surprised. Like it was very predictable, Violet's story was. And so that just wasn't really something that I was super interested in reading about. And then with Kate's story, I feel like hers got more interesting towards the end when she was like finding all of the things about her ancestors and kind of how they took steps to protect her and to kind of make what happened in the end come to fruition. And so I don't know, I feel like it was crafted well, just again, the dual timelines is just not something that I love. And I definitely feel like if it wasn't dual timelines, I feel like it would have bumped the rating up for me, because I feel like if it were told more in parts, well, I mean, it is told in parts, but if it was told in parts, like where we kind of see Altha first, and then we get into Violet, and then we get into Kate, but then there's like a tiny bit of overlapping between, because we see kind of how things are set up. I feel like I definitely would have liked that a little bit better. But again, for the most part, I feel like it was a pretty solid 3 stars. I would definitely recommend it to certain audiences. This just isn't my typical cup of tea. But again, reading is subjective. So Jan gave this book 2 stars. I gave it 3. I definitely understand why she didn't like this book. I definitely see why people love this book, and I definitely see why like people don't like this book. I fall very much in the middle. Now that I'm done reading this book, I will be moving on to the next book that I'm planning on reading for this video. And so that is going to be GBBL, also known as Great Big Beautiful Life, by Emily Henry. I have been putting this book off for quite a while now, so I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about it. I didn't absolutely love Emily Henry's last book. It was a funny story, and I thought it was okay. And maybe I need to reread that one. Like, I also need to reread Beach Read, because I thought that one was just okay too. I don't know, but I have a feeling that I might like this one. I don't know. I feel it's a book about books, so I don't know. We'll see. I like books about books when they're done well, and I feel like Emily Henry does do books about books well, because I loved Book Lovers. I really enjoyed Book Lovers, so I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about this one. I think I will start this tonight. I definitely don't see myself reading a whole lot, because today is June 10th, which Every Year After just came out on Prime, so I did want to watch an episode of that and see if that's going to be a show that I end up liking or not, because I did like Every Summer After. I gave it 3 stars, I think 3.5 stars. It was like, I liked it. I've definitely read more from Carly Fortune. It definitely is not my favorite book from her. So anyways, I am going to give the show a little try and see if it's something that I might be interested in. But for now, I am going to start Great Big Beautiful Life, and hopefully I like it. Okay, I'm getting ready to go watch Every Year After, but I did want to give my first little update on Great Big Beautiful Life. I am pausing for the evening. I literally did not read hardly anything in this book at all. I'm literally on page 31, which is the start of chapter 4, but it is 7:30, and I know one episode is probably going to be close to an hour, and if you guys are not new here, I like to go to bed, especially on work nights, at like 9 p.m. So I did not want to read too much longer. So far, I'm intrigued. I don't really know where the story is going to go. I feel like I might have some idea, but we're following Alice, and she is a writer for this, like, I don't know if it's like a magazine or a journal or a website or something, but she's a writer, and she was contacted by someone in order to write the memoir of this heiress. And she shows up, like, it starts of her like showing up at Margaret's house for what is essentially an interview, and she's leaving the house, and then there's Hayden, who is also there for the same job. And obviously, based on the premise, which I'm assuming is like on the inside flap, is they are essentially competing for who is going to write this book. Hayden does have experience writing famous authors or famous memoirs, and he actually won a Pulitzer Prize for his that he has written. And Alice does not really have that experience. She has a little bit of experience, but not really. And so they're kind of on two opposite ends of the spectrum. So we will see, obviously, how it's gonna go. And then, of course, this is a romance between Hayden and Alice. And so I feel like this book is a little bit thicker than some of the other Emily Henry books. So I'm definitely interested to see how things are going to progress and where they're going to go. Like I said, I'm only 30 pages in, so not much to go off of, but the little bit that I have read, I am intrigued in. So I definitely will be continuing this tomorrow. And yeah, so that's my first little update. I'm gonna go so I can watch every year after, and I will more than likely talk to you sometime tomorrow, or just whenever I have my next update on Great Big Beautiful Life. It has been a couple days since I've last talked to you, but I have been doing some reading in Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I'm about 50% into the book. I am currently on page 193, which is the start of chapter 18, and I fear I don't care about this book. I literally don't care. Like, I have no desire to learn more about Margaret. I have no desire to really follow the romance between Alice and Hayden. Like, I feel like if anything, that is the part that I'm most intrigued by, is the romance aspect of it all, but I'm not liking the story. Like, I literally just don't care. I don't care that they're trying to compete for this book, and while they are competing, essentially there's no stakes. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, whoever she picks to write her memoir, sure, but like, okay, and like, it just feels like there's no stakes. I feel like I would like this story a lot better if this was more of like a thriller, and like there's something inherently sinister going on with like Margaret's story, or like the reason that she has waited so long to tell the story, or that she has picked these two people specifically. Like, if there's something more sinister in her decisions, then like, okay, I feel like I would be a bit more interested, but like, I frankly just don't care. Like, I literally don't care. I'm so bored. I also too hate the font that's in the book. I hate it. Also, this book feels incredibly long and drawn out, and I just am not liking it. I'm not enjoying my time reading this. I'm not having a good time. I've even gotten the audiobook to try and see if that can help me get through it a little bit, because Julia Whalen, of course, is the narrator of all of Emily Henry's books, and I'm just not loving it. I don't like it. Like, yeah, this book is not for me. Like, I just don't care. Like, I really don't care. And the like little bits of like the romance that we're getting is like, yeah, that's good and fun and whatnot, but for the most part, like, I literally don't care. So yeah, I feel like I might be with Jan in the fact that she did not like this book, and I fear that I too am not liking it. It's just so boring. I was reading it earlier and literally fell asleep. Like, I have a hard time with, not necessarily with Emily Henry's books, but she is pretty hit or miss for me. And I feel like this one specifically is very much a miss. And I feel like this is probably so far my least favorite of her books. I did know kind of going into this one that it was going to be more lit fic style and less romance style, which is fine, but I just feel like I'm not loving the premise, and I think that is the problem, because I tend to enjoy lit fics with romance in them. Like, I feel like that is a genre that I typically enjoy reading, but I feel like with the lit fic with romance, I feel like there are more stakes, right? I feel like not necessarily in a mystery sort of sense, but like there is something else happening, and these characters are acting this way for a specific reason, and I just feel like in this we're missing the stakes. So I'm having a really hard time wanting to pick this book up and read it. So I don't know what to do, because part of me wants to DNF this book just because I really don't care about it that bad, but also too, part of me does want to kind of see it through, but I fear it's not looking good. Good morning. Okay, I'm hoping to dedicate a lot of reading to today. I do have plans to go to Barnes & Noble a little bit later once they open because I do need to take a book back to exchange it for the same one because it arrived damaged. It was a pre-order and the cover came like super bent and like just not amazing. So I am going to go exchange that, and of course I'll probably do a little bit of browsing and potentially shopping while I'm in there, but they don't open for another like 3.5 hours, so I'm going to do some reading in that time. I'm hoping to finish Great Big Beautiful Life. I am like probably close to 80% done in the book. Like I literally have less than 100 pages left, so I'm thinking I'm going to sit here and finish this book now. I haven't done as much reading this weekend as I would have liked to. It has been my like high school reunion weekend, so just been kind of like doing the activities that came along with that. But now I'm going to sit in here for the rest of the day until, okay, not for the rest of the day, but I'm gonna sit in here until it's time for me to leave to go to Barnes. I'm going to finish Great Big Beautiful Life, and then there is one more book that I'm planning on reading for this video. It is YA, so I might be able to finish it today, we'll see. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get to reading, and I'll talk to you probably once I finish Great Big Beautiful Life. So I didn't like this. I'm rating this book 2 stars. This is by far my least favorite Emily Henry book. My favorite part about this book was the letter at the end. Like when Hayden reads the letter that Alice sent Margaret, that's my favorite part, and that was it. Literally, this book just, yeah. And like I thought I was gonna like it better knowing that it felt more like a lit fic going into it than like people knew before, because that was like a majority of the reasons why people didn't love this book when reading it, is because they thought that it was going to be more typical Hen and not like more lit ficky, that it would be more romance heavy. And while the romance of course was still very prevalent in this book, the story itself just is not one that resonated with me. I feel like this storyline is so much better in theory than it is on paper. Like I feel like the idea of the story is a good one, but I feel like the execution just fell flat for me. I just really did not like this book. I don't know. I just didn't love it. Not for me. So 2 stars to this. And I feel like Jane and I definitely do agree on this one, because this one just was not, it's not my favorite. Will I still read from Emily Henry in the future? Yes, of course. Like I've mentioned, there are some books from her that I absolutely love. This is one that I didn't necessarily like, but I'm definitely interested to continue reading from her. Hopefully she will have more books in the future that I will continue to enjoy, but unfortunately this one just fell flat for me. So with that, there is one more book that I'm planning on reading in this video, and that is going to be Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So I did grab this one from my library. I grabbed the ebook, so I will be starting this today. It says it's about 410 Kindle pages. So we will see. I know this is the first book in a series. This is a young adult series, and I am not super into young adult anymore. I will read one every once in a while that I enjoy, but I just don't really feel like I really relate anymore. So I'm definitely curious to see what I'm going to think about this book, but I am going to go ahead and get to reading. I do still have about 2 hours, just under 2.5 hours until Barnes opens. So I'm probably gonna leave. My local Barnes opens at 11:30 on Sundays. So I probably will leave my house probably close to 11 to head that way. So I will be doing some reading here for the next couple of hours until I'm going to head that way. But anyway, so thought I'd give that update. I'm gonna start Belladonna now, and I will talk to you again once I have some updates on the book. Okay, so I went to Barnes & Noble to go exchange that book, and they actually didn't have any in stock, so that is amazing because it means that the book is selling. But it means that I have to wait before I can exchange it. So they did put one on hold for me because they said they had some coming in and that they were on order. So I had them put one on hold for me, and then I'll just take mine to exchange it later. But I did also grab some things while I was in there. Are we surprised? If we are, we shouldn't be, because I knew that was gonna happen. But so I can show you what I got. So first I got The Goal by Elle Kennedy, and I was trying to get it without the sticker on it, but this one, they only had 2 copies of this book, so I had to get it with the sticker. But it is a removable sticker, which we love, so I should be able to take this one off. But this is the 4th book in the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. And so yeah, I'm slowly collecting these books, and I'm planning to do a reread at some point, so there's that. And then I grabbed The Pucking Wrong Number by C.R. Jane, and this is a dark hockey romance. And I think something to do with obsession. So it says a star athlete crosses the line from passion into obsession in this darkly addictive hockey romance. And so hockey romance, dark romance, together sounds like my vibe. So super excited to grab this. I also ended up grabbing Forged by Malice by Elizabeth Helen. And I know you're probably like, girl, that's the 3rd book. Yeah, because book 2 is already on its way. I ordered it and I saw they had this one, in store, and it's like the standard edition. So I was like, yep, you're coming home with me. So grab this. This is the next book that I have to read in the series, because I did take a quick little intermission from this video to read book 2 because I literally could not stop thinking about it. So I'm now on book 3. So thank you, Jan, for hating book 1 so that way I could be obsessed with it. So love that. And then I also got For the Fans by Nyla K. And I'm actually going to be reading this for a video here soon. So I grabbed a copy of this. I was wanting one that didn't have the sprayed edges, but they all had sprayed edges, so it's fine. But I am super excited to read this one. And I want to say this is a football player. Okay, yeah, so this one also is as well a sports romance, I think, because it's a football player and an artist. So super excited to get into this one. The girl that was checking me out was like, that book is so good. So super excited to read it. So these are the 4 books that I picked up today at Barnes, very much in a sports romance kick somewhat, if you will. But I did also go and get a pedicure, and while I was sitting in the chair, I did do some reading of Belladonna. So this says 48% into the book, so just under halfway. I'm on chapter 23, which is page 200, and I don't really have any thoughts about this book. Like, it's giving very much no thoughts, head empty. Like, I'm not invested in it. I don't really care about it. I'm feeling so very neutral about it. Like, I don't have any thoughts. I'm not loving it. I'm not hating it. It's not my favorite thing that I've ever read. Like, it's just fine. I feel like the main character is a little annoying to me, but I mean, it's a YA, so like, I don't really expect anything else. So I don't know. It's like fine. I really like her name. Her name's Signa, and I really like that. And yeah, that's about it. She's just like hanging out with Death and like her cousins, and it's a murder mystery, which I feel like is, you know, it's giving it a little bit of, you know, stakes and a little bit of like suspense and ththings that I feel like was my complaint from the Emily Henry book, was that there were literally no stakes. And so I feel like that is something, but for the most part, like I don't really have any thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it and see. I don't know. I feel like I saw a lot of reviews that were like DNF around the 50% mark. So we'll see how I'm feeling. But I am going to continue reading. And yeah, I'm gonna put my camera on the charger because it's probably going to die soon. So I'm gonna do that and continue reading. And hopefully I can have better thoughts on the book a little bit later when I've read some more. But yeah, it's looking like at max a 3-star. I don't know. I'm just feeling very meh about it. I just finished Belladonna by Adeline Grace, and I can confidently say that I will not be continuing in the series. So I am rating this book 2 stars. I feel like this book just was not for me. I will say it felt very long. It felt very drawn out. I tend to not like Regency era fantasy, and that's exactly what this is. Yeah, Regency era with the balls and the dresses and the courting and the inappropriate to be with the person of the opposite sex for any period of time, if not related. Like, that just is not something that I enjoy reading about. I feel like it tends to drag for me, and I feel like the writing style of a story told in that era just tends to not be something that I enjoy reading or something that I tend to gravitate towards. So just not for me. I did find our main character to be a tad annoying to me. I did not love her. I feel like Death was the only like character that I somewhat even remotely liked, and her cousin Blythe, even though she was literally dying. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like there was a whole lot about this book that I enjoyed. So yeah, I will say I was feeling very just like meh about it. I didn't love it, but I didn't necessarily hate it either. I can understand why people would enjoy this book, but for me personally, just not a fan. So yeah, I won't be continuing on in the series, but if you are looking for a Regency YA book, then maybe check this one out. I will say I feel like it is leaning a little bit more towards new adult / upper YA, since there was an explicit scene in the book. So yeah, that is my thoughts on the book. So here is where we stand with my ratings versus Jan's ratings on this challenge that we did of swapping books and seeing if our tastes align. I feel like for the most part we do align pretty well. I feel like a lot of our thoughts on these books are pretty similar. I feel like in as far as like enjoyment level, well, it might not be the same reasons, but yeah, I feel like we have pretty similar tastes, and I feel like this kind of proves that. So I do want to just say thank you to Jan for asking me to do this challenge. I am beyond honored and grateful that she reached out to me about this, and I am so happy to have been a part of this series. I am just so happy to be here. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I'll have all my social media linked in the description. And if you've made it to this point in the video, leave the bat emoji, because I feel like that is giving very much Vampire Jan coded. And with that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.